Hello and welcome to another episode of my first time playing. This time we are taking a look at a 2D shooter called Leviathan Starblade. Now I've had a look at the instructions and this, and this seems to be really complicated. You can kind of see, like, on the left side of the screen you've got all those stats, and yeah, you're kind of not allowed to get to let too many enemies go, and it appears that you've got like 4 different weapons. I've read through these instructions and I don't quite fully understand most of what's going on. I'm sure once we get into the game it'll kind of make a lot more sense, but at the moment this is seeming quite convoluted. But we'll jump into the game, see what it's all about. The game does have controller support, but it doesn't seem to be active in the menus. So I've got to use the mouse for the menus, and then, okay, these the different kind of ships I can have. All the ships do the same thing. The differences are cosmetic. So which is the coolest looking one? I'll go with that one purely because it's brighter. Oh, I can choose like anyone. Yeah, we'll go with that one. Right, so I can test my weapons here. Okay, so we can fire in any direction with that. Okay, I seem to be moving slightly to the left there. Okay, right. So how do I fire my weapons? I don't know. We'll just go into the game. Oh, I've got to choose my primary weapon. Okay. Okay, we'll use the left trigger to fire that. That seems an odd choice for a fire button. Choose my secondary weapon. I'll go with that again. Or triple fire. What's that one? Yeah, I'm assuming there's a good and a bad choice, but we're going to go with these. Choose my sword type. Jesus. Yeah, we'll use that one. Is that the sword? Oh, that's the sword. Okay. Okay. This is level select, I'm guessing. Okay, right. Okay. Right. God, they take some beating. God, there's a lot of bullets on the screen. I seem to be hitting all of them. Yeah, let's use that. That seems a plan. Okay, that doesn't seem to be doing much actually, so let's not. Oh, I can actually fire everything all at once. Well, I can fire both my guns at once. Okay. I don't think I'm doing too bad. It's not very visually appealing, I have to say. Mission failed. I think you only get like 1 life. Okay then, right. So you can actually turn it by increments. Your firing thing by increments. But the control isn't great. You push a certain direction in the controller and just fire that way. But to do it smoothly, you've got to kind of like roll your thumb around it, and it's quite awkward. As opposed to it turning by small increments. It's like I'm not explaining it very well. There seems to be kind of like a certain axis where you'll push in a direction and it'll snap to roughly that direction, but not exactly the direction that you're actually pushing. And you've got to kind of like micromanage it and move your thumb around to actually get it to go in the direction you want it to, because you push in a certain direction. Like if I push left now, I mean, yeah, it is going left, but if I push diagonal left, it is kind of like locking to a position which is not quite accurate to the direction that I pushed. It is difficult to explain it. It is really difficult to explain it. Oh, we can choose this different songs as well in the escape menu. Let's change the music. Yeah, why not? Okay, so yeah, obviously you want to keep both guns firing at once. It is difficult to put your finger on the Starblade thing without letting go of. Oh, the Starblade gets rid of the projectiles. That's interesting. Okay, that's useful. Again, it's the aiming issues with the right button are a bit weird. I can spin it, but it's not accurate, particularly if I push it in a certain direction. Too many enemies miss, or 2-man enemies miss, it actually says. Let's try a different level there. It seems to me, I mean, it just seems like needlessly complicated to me. It really does. God, these are taking a bit of hammering. Oh, does that count as misses if they go off the left of the screen? I guess so. It's like I would like to look at the stats on the left side of the screen, but I kind of can't, because then I'm gonna hit stuff like down here. So there's just a lot of stuff that you need to be aware of at once. These don't want to die, do they? I mean, I'm usually bad at this kind of game, generally, but I kind of don't feel as though it's my fault entirely this particular time. Let's go to the last level. I kind of feel as though some of the problems I'm having are down to the complexity of the game. It could just do with just boiling it down a little bit and simplifying it. I mean, maybe that was the point of the game. Maybe they wanted something like this. I mean, maybe there is a demand for games with this amount of complexity in the 2D shooter genre. I'm not entirely sure, but I'm certainly finding this somewhat overwhelming to actually play. Although I do seem to be doing better on this level than in previous ones. Having said that, I can't see how well I'm doing because I can't really take my eyes off the screen long enough to look at the stats. Let's clear some of these projectiles out of the way. Okay. You see, I pushed down there and it kind of like went down to the left. Right. I'm gonna try one more. I'm not like enjoying this particularly. I'm gonna try it with mouse and keyboard actually. Try it with mouse and keyboard and see if the control scheme there is any different. Okay, so we're gonna go mouse and keyboard control. Go back to level 1. Right. Oh god, this is horrible. So how do I fire the second weapon? No one knows. No one knows. Okay. Oh, with spacebar, really? Oh god, this is a horrible control scheme. This was a very big mistake. God, this is horrible. Got my Starblade thing there. Such a weird control. Like, so very, very, very odd. I mean, you can certainly aim more accurately with a mouse, but yeah, it's very, very odd indeed. Let's clear some of these projectiles out. God, you've really got to kind of like turn your mouse around in a strange kind of way to circle that Starblade. I mean, I am actually doing better with the mouse and keyboard than I was with a controller, but it just feels so awkward. It's difficult to explain, kind of like a bad control scheme, because obviously you can only see what's going on the screen. You can't really see what's happening with my hands on the keyboard. But yeah, this feels like so awkward. Despite the fact that I am actually doing all right, it just feels incredibly awkward. And it's actually making my hand cramp a little as well, having to keep my thumb on the space bar whilst also having my fingers on WASD and using that to move. So yeah, so the controller is very difficult to use, like to do all this shooting and moving and stuff like that. But it is more comfortable, and the mouse and keyboard is certainly the better option in terms of accuracy. But in terms of comfort, it is just really, really bad. Are we getting a boss? I'm guessing you're a boss. Yeah. One would assume so. Oh, shit off. I kind of feel as though this boss doesn't really care for my personal safety. Mission failed. Just like that again. Like one life. You don't get any more chances whatsoever. NG ships can only be destroyed with a Starblade. So how do I know which ships are NG ships? Oh yeah, I need to press the space. Oh, those, yeah, those are NG ships. Okay, brilliant. Oh, I like this music. This music's cool. Oh, NG ships, right. Okay. I mean, when I die, I will actually swap out my weapons just to see if changing the weapons will make any kind of difference whatsoever. I don't know how much more my hand can take though, because it is starting to cramp up my wrist. Okay, we're at a boss now. I thought we were at a boss there. Okay, I am getting better at it. Slightly. So that I'm probably about to die. Oh god, I'm letting too many pass. Okay. I thought we would have been a boss by now, but I guess not. So yeah, like I said, this music's decent. I've disappeared. My ship has disappeared. It's gone. It just went. Let's try a different control scheme. I'll try a different ship just for the sake of variety. We'll have you. Right. So we've got kind of like higher fire rate with the single weapons and double weapons, but obviously and not as much spread. Right. That one's got limited range. These ones bounce. The Hydra ones bounce. So I'll go with that. And my secondary weapon. Oh, we can actually choose the same weapon for both. Let's try that. See if we can have like two lots of fire that bounce. I actually can't read the text properly in the blue without hovering over it, which isn't great. We'll have that. Can I not select that at all? It wouldn't let me select that, so okay. Which one have I got? Oh, I have got that one. Okay, so we'll go back to Sector 1. Okay, those don't appear to be the ones that are selected. Yeah, these don't appear to be the guns that are selected. It seems, and not having the spread shot isn't great, and I have to say. Although these individual shots are more powerful, I would prefer like the spread shot, because it allows you to be less accurate. It would be nice if the enemies themselves had sound, rather than just the constant sound of my firing, because that is the only sound effect. My guns are the only sound effect, which is a shame. Like I said, the music is decent, so it's got that going for it. But otherwise, it's not exactly the best looking game. Sound-wise, it's not brilliant. Can I kill like a normal enemy with this then? Yeah, but I think I am getting hit while I'm doing that. So yeah, there may very well be a demand for this kind of game. I don't know, but it's certainly not for me. I don't think. I thought you were going to give me a boss there. Try and survive long enough to get to the boss. He said taking multiple hits at once. Go on, get it. Oh, ultimately, I have to say it's unfortunately somewhat boring. Without that kind of feedback from the sound, and with the odd control scheme, it just. Yeah, it is like quite dull. Oh, and I failed. I died. Okay, I think I'll probably leave it there. As as I've said while I've been playing, you know, it's I don't really think this one's for me. Maybe there are people who are into a game with a somewhat convoluted, in my eyes, control scheme, and maybe they're after that kind of complexity in the 2D shooters. I personally think the 2D shooters work best when they're kind of like boiled down to a more simplified kind of manner, or at least they have like some quirkiness that sets them apart. I don't remember the name of the game, but I did play a game like I did a video of it like quite a while back, which had you playing as like a little spaceman, and you had like all these different multiple kind of shots that you could use against the enemies, and you could get like temporary pickups, stuff like that. And I think one of the core aspects generally of 2D shooters is having that kind of like pickup that can increase your power or increase your shot speed, something like that, or change your kind of shot, just to bring in like a little bit of variety. Choosing your weapon at the start and then having that like throughout the entire level until you die, it does make it like quite dull, and that combined with the lack of proper sound apart from your own firing, it just it's just not selling it for me, unfortunately. Like I said, it did have decent music. The music is fine. The music is not the problem, but those issues that I've mentioned, plus the fact that it is quite visually unappealing, I can't really recommend this one, unfortunately. So yeah, that was Leviathan Starblade. If you enjoyed this video, please click like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you next time.